Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you see this. So, we are going to go ahead and jump into the Pisces and Aries readings for January 2023. So, I pulled all of your cards ahead of time here, dear Pisces. So, we'll get into your reading in just a few moments. I just wanted to mention a couple of quick things. First of all, everyone is welcome, right? So, whether doesn't matter where you have Pisces or Aries in your chart, everyone is welcome. So, whether you are a Pisces sun sign, rising sign Pisces, you have your moon in Pisces, you have some other type of Pisces element in your chart somewhere. Okay, so everyone is welcome. Same thing goes for Aries. So, after the live is done, I will be posting timestamps for people in the future who just want one or the other. So that will be available in the description box below after the live is done. And of course, I always take a photo of both of the zodiac readings, one photo of all the cards that are here on the table, in case you want to see it more up close in detail or have it pulled up on screen while you're listening or watching or whatever. So that's always available too if you want to check that out, but you don't have to, of course. And also, this is a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, money, health. Um, I think that's all the things, right? So you have to kind of listen to the reading, trust your intuition, and see where it takes you because it will be different for everyone, even though it's general reading. All right, and both of the readings today here are both going to be timeless as well. So that means that it could resonate before or after the original time frame for January 2023. So it could be 2 weeks before January 2023 for some. It could be two weeks after. It could be months or even year after, right? So it will be different for everybody. So again, just use your own intuition and see kind of what makes sense for you here. All right, so with all that being said, I want to go ahead and get started for Pisces. We're going to do a quick little sound bell here to just ground ourselves and get more in tune with the energy and, just release anything that is. Possibly holding me or you back, right, from receiving the messages from spirit. So it will be loud for a few moments in case you're listening with headphones or something like that, but hopefully it won't be too bad. All right. So here we go. This is for Pisces. All right. Pisces. Okay. I think that was a pretty good one. Sometimes they're better than others, but we're still learning how to work the singing bowl the best way possible, since I am definitely not a musical person. All right. So anyway, let's see what we have here for you, Pisces. So we are going to be talking about this 4 week time period, right? So basically, it can be the whole week, the whole month of January, but I kind of stopped when the astrology notes stopped for January, and they stopped at the 28th, so that's kind of why I stopped as well. But it doesn't have to be. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it could resonate for you for the whole month of January or even into February beyond before whatever. Okay. So let's see. So we're going to talk about each one of these four cards is going to correspond to a week's time frame or so. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. We're using two different tarot decks. And then we also have two oracle cards for you this time, Pisces. You're special. Usually I only take one, but they wanted two. So we'll get to that at the very end. All right. So let's talk about the week's time frame that it may correspond to. It will be different for everybody. It's just kind of a guideline. So for the first week, we were saying it could be from around January 1st through the 7th. And I will repeat these days when we're on each individual card, okay? The second week we said could be from January 8th through the 14th. The third week can be from January 15th through the 21st. And the fourth week can be from January 22nd through the 28th. All right. What else? Yeah, no, that's it. So let's go ahead and call out your cards here. We have the Two of Cups in the right side up position. We have the Ten of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. We have the Six of Staves, also known as Six of Wands, in the reverse position. And we have the Empress in the reverse position. So we'll talk about, again, the other tarot cards as Spirit wants me to talk to you about them, or, you know, in a certain order, okay? But I just wanted to call out the first name for. So now I want to go ahead real quickly and see how many major arcana we have in your reading, because it can be another theme that kind of may resonate as well. So it looks like you only have, yeah, you have two major arcanas, and that's not good or bad, right? It's just what it is. When you have a lot of major arcanas, it can signify much more dramatic change or lots of change. So two is still pretty good, still talks about change, right? But we also want to talk about the zodiac signs associated with those cards real quickly for some people if they're looking into that. So we have the Empress, okay, so that's Libra. And we also have the World in, it doesn't matter which position, we have the World card, okay? So why am I spacing out about which zodiac sign the World card is? Oh my goodness. It is, it's going to come to me. Maybe it's not. It'll come to me in a second, hopefully. What is the World card? I'm spacing out. It's not Pisces, is it? Let's look it up really quickly. I am not sure why I'm spacing out right now, but it does happen, right? We're all human. So let's see. The World Tarot card zodiac sign. I thought maybe I did that. Okay. So if you watched my reading from yesterday when I did Capricorn and Aquarius, I was confusing, I think, the World card with the Wheel of Fortune as far as the zodiac signs, because the World card is normally 4 different zodiac signs, which for some reason I was kind of associating yesterday with the Wheel of Fortune. But maybe it was there for some reason for somebody. So today when I stopped, I was like, wait, the World card, and I went through my head of what the signs are, but then I'm like, no, that's the Wheel of Fortune. No, it's the wheel. It's the world. They both turn. So maybe that's what it is in my mind. Okay, we'll say that's what it is. But anyway, the other zodiac signs associated with the World card are Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. Okay, so all together, going back, we have Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. So what does that mean for some people? You could be dealing with one of those signs, a person that is a sun sign in one of those signs, or you could have a lot of those signs heavily in your chart, or if you're dealing with another person in their chart, or it can even be referencing Libra season, Scorpio season, Aquarius season, Leo season, Taurus season, right? Or it doesn't mean anything at all, but I like to usually mention it in the beginning before I forget, okay? So that's just kind of something to kind of think about and put to the side, okay? Now moving forward real quickly before we get deep into your reading, I also want to count the minor arcana and see which one is the most prevalent in your reading, because that can also be another underlying theme or message here. So we have two swords, two cups, might be a tie, one wand, and one pentacle. So it looks like it's a tie here between the swords and the cups. Okay. So the cups in the tarot talk about our emotions, right? So are our emotions, my emotions, your emotions, right? Depending on who you're dealing with or how many people you're dealing with. Are they in a good place? Are they in a not so good place, right? Because we all have the ups and downs and ebbs and flows. Then with the swords, that being the other part of the underlying message of the reading, the swords talk about our crown chakra, our logical mind, but also our mental health. So is my mental health in a good place, in a not so good place, vice versa, etc. All right, so again, that's just kind of something to keep in the background in your mind if you want, but throw it out if it doesn't speak to you. All right. So now let's go ahead and get officially into your reading here, dear Pisces, and just move some stuff out of the way. So we're going to start with your first card. We have the Two of Cups in the right side up position. And this could be, I said, around January 1st through the 7th, but it's not exact. All right. So this is a really beautiful energy, Pisces, to start your reading off here with. This is a very complementary energy, right? So again, we're talking about cups and emotions, but here we see these two people that are romantic partners, right? And so they're having some type of embrace, but they're giving each other their cup. Their cup is not spilled over, and they're giving each other the same amount of energy or effort, right? So this can apply to a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to. It can be any type of relationship, right? So friends, family, relationship with self, etc. Okay, so again, this is a really nice complementary energy. It could be a work partnership too, whatever it is, whatever relationship it is here, it looks really nice. And also with the Two of Cups energy, we see the angel behind them. That means it's divinely guided, higher vibrational love, right? So there's different types of love, right? Not only romantic. So it could be, I love working with that person, or that company, or that energy, or that environment, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. Or I love my friends, blah, blah, blah. I love my certain family members, blah, 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 whatever it is. Or I love myself, okay, blah, 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 whatever it is. So it's looking really nice here, Pisces. If I just look over your whole reading, I would say that first week of January or so, right, is probably your best week here. You have a little bit of a couple energetic blockages, nothing too bad, right, to worry about, but definitely we see that Two of Cups energy in that first week or so here, and it looks really nice. So this is actually where Spirit wanted me to talk to you, Pisces, about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, to kind of give us background information about maybe how or why this Two of Cups in the right side up position showed up. So these two under here, I call them the sponsor cards. They're past energy that made it possible for this Two of Cups to show up in the right side up position. Okay, so what we have here in the past, and it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. We have the Ace of Swords in the right side up position, and we have the King of Swords in the right side up position on the bottom. All right, so lots of swords energy, right? So air sign energy. So not the official cards, but if we talk about air signs, it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? But in the past here, Pisces, it looks like with the Ace of Swords in the right side up position, there could have been some type of ending, new beginning that really helped you or another person or most people, general environment situation, embrace their own innate gifts and have more mental clarity in the past, okay? And then pairing that with the King of Swords, all right, and here we definitely have Gemini energy, right? It's not their official card, but it's here. He's called in this deck, this is the Hermaic deck, the Prince of the Chariots of the Winds, right? So we see this king in his chariot. He's moving forward. There's lots of angels underneath him and above him, kind of supporting him and clearing his way, okay? So just like the sword, the Ace of Swords, with the King of Swords, it is also mental clarity, right? But it's a king, someone is who's really strong in their position as far as how they delegate tasks to others, in their confidence, and they're just showing up in their own skin comfortably, right? It can also be that in the past there was, let's say, some type of positive masculine energy, whether it's within you or within someone else, because we all have feminine and masculine energy, right? That was supportive of this relationship or these relationships. If it's multiple relationships that have, again, that really complementary energy here of giving the best to each other, bringing out the best to each other, or to an environment situation if it's not necessarily a person. But it is higher vibrational love and frequency and is divinely guided. So it looks like here that in the past, Pisces, somebody or something was really clearing the way, was really, you know, wanting to use their crown chakra and have good mental health to bring out the best in themselves, if it's about you or about another person and or others. Okay, so this, again, these cards down here made it possible for that Two of Cups to show up here. So really nice energy in that first week or so here of January, Pisces. All right, so let's keep going though and see what else we have here for you. So now we move to the second week and we have a little bit of earth energy with the sacred circles, also known as pentacles. So it's not the official card, but it could be Capricorn, Virgo. Why did I just forget the Capricorn? Wait. Taurus. Oh my God. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, earth signs. Okay. Anyway, what your card is for this second week is the 10 of Sacred Circles or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position. So that's why I was saying it can be a little bit of an energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge here. All right. So, when it's in that reverse position here, Pisces, it could be that in the second week, you're not feeling a certain amount of support that you were expecting or, not necessarily expecting, but hoping for maybe. It could be that the other person feels that way or multiple people, general environment situation. But normally when this card is right side up, we see this Native American village, right? All the community here. When it's in reverse, it's like there is no community, there is no village. Now, since it is also sacred circles or pentacles, it can be that in the second week here, Pisces, someone is not feeling financially supported in some way. You yourself, another person, general environment situation. If it's not financially, we also talk about pentacles with our values, our value systems. So maybe someone's not feeling valued in some way here in that second week. Okay. But, whatever it is here for a reason, right? So we do have also in that second week, since I did the astrology notes yesterday, we have a full moon in Cancer on January 6th, I believe, and that is in the second week, which we said could be from around January 8th through the 14th. So the full moon definitely falls in that second week. You even see it in the card, right? Even though it's reversed for you. So that's always interesting when that happens. But yeah, it looks like if we talk about Cancer energy in a full moon, right, we're talking about emotions. Excuse me, we're talking about, hold on a second. We're also talking about Cancer, so nostalgia, feeling maybe even homebody-ish, right, for some, right? Because we all have Cancer somewhere in our chart. But when we talk about full moons, right, it's a heightened energy, it's a combination energy at its highest. So maybe Pisces here, even someone or some thing is not able to socialize the way they normally would or want to be supportive to others or even yourself because there's not enough money or because there's not enough being valued in some way. So I would just be gentle with yourself here, Pisces, and with others during that full moon in that second week and kind of figure out maybe why this is happening. So we'll figure that out as well, possibly for some, since it is a general reading. But let's keep going and see what else is showing up here for you. So the next two cards here, dear Pisces, are actually both a little bit of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge. Okay, but it is always connected, and it is always usually happening for a reason, right? So nothing to worry about too much. But let's go in order here. So now we're on your third week, which we said could be from around January 15th through the 21st. And we have the Six of Staves in the reverse position. Okay. So when it follows directly after the Ten of Sacred Circles in reverse, it could be that there is some celebration that is put on hold or straight up doesn't happen. Um, Not only because of the financial stuff we just talked about, possibly, but also because for some, maybe possibly a little bit of some small health issues here. When we talk about staves or wands, right, we're talking about our physical body or our health, okay? But it can also, doesn't necessarily have to be that, or you can't say that for everybody. It could just straight up be that this celebratory energy or a celebration or multiple celebrations is not going to happen during this third week for a lots of unseen forces, right? But normally, just so you can see the card in the right side up position, you see this man in some type of race in Egypt, right? So everyone's cheersing him along, right? But it's in reverse. So that's why that celebration, cheering kind of energy is a little bit reversed here. So this is actually where Spirit wants me to talk to you, Pisces, about maybe why this is happening. Okay, to get even more insight. I'm going to put these over here. So we have, again, energy from the past that kind of made it possible for this Six of Staves in the reverse position to come out. Okay, so it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. What is the past? What is the future? Right? It's all fluid and relative. But here we have the Four of Cups in the right side up position, which was on the top of your deck. And then we have the Devil in the reverse position, was on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so again, we do have some Capricorn energy over here. That's the official Capricorn card. And I'm just realizing you have not two major arcanas, but three. So I take that back. um, it's confusing me a little bit because I have different decks here. This is similar to the one I always use, but I got it a new one that's printed bigger and doesn't have all the scratches and dents. Okay, so maybe that threw me off there, or it's just me. But yeah, anyway, so when we look at this past energy, Pisces, with the Four of Cups in the reverse position, it looks like somebody was doing the work here in the past. Okay, either a person, you yourself, another person, or a general environment situation, or just straight up energy, right? With the Four of Cups here in the past, somebody wasn't emotionally fulfilled or challenged or happy. He has these three cups and he's like not super thrilled about them. He's like blah, whatever. This card, Four of Cups, talks about patience. If he's patient or changes his perspective slightly, the universe is going to bring in another cup that is more emotionally fulfilling and exciting and challenging and all those things. Okay. So when we go from that to the Devil in the reverse position, it's like somebody let go of some addictions or self-sabotaging energy, or they just started to balance themselves out better here. To see the Devil in the reverse position is what we call a good reversal. Okay. So, it could be that in this third week, Pisces, if there is some, again, some type of celebration or celebratory energy or feeling that doesn't happen or is put on hold, it may really piss you off or the other person, a multiple people general environment situation, because somebody has been really patient in the past and has really been waiting and doing the work to celebrate, right? So I would say here, Pisces, just on a side note, that like, if it's about yourself and celebrating all the work that you've done, you don't necessarily need, just to go back to your second and your third card, to celebrate with others. Yes, it's more fun to physically celebrate with others, but you can celebrate yourself and your work and achievements, until you can have that time to get together with others, if that's what this is about here. Okay. But let's keep going and see what else we have here for you, Pisces. So now we're going to get to your fourth card, your fourth week, which we said could be from around January 22nd through the 28th. And we have the Empress in the reverse position. All right. So again, Libra energy. So this would be another energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, as we like to say. Okay. But there's always something to think about, right? Because this is the energy we're picking up as of now, and things can change, right? So if you get these messages ahead of time, you could possibly even change your own like future, if you would like to say it that way, or just come to it, not necessarily change it, but come to it with a more understanding. Okay. That's the best way I can think of describing it right now. But with this Empress in the reverse position, it could be that somebody's leadership qualities are dented a little bit. Okay, because normally the Empress in the tarot would be the businesswoman, the CEO, right? But she's reversed. It could also be for some that there's a feminine energy that is not being embraced enough here, okay? Because she has the feminine symbol when she's right side up, right? So it's reversed. So it's almost like maybe this situation or this person or the multiple people, general environment situation needs more feminine energy to move forward in some way. And only you can answer that and how, possibly, right? But it could also be for some that there is not enough planning for the future. So she's pregnant, right? When she's right side up, she's literally planted the seeds, right, for the future baby to come out. Okay, when it's in that reverse position, it could be someone or something or some energy is not planning enough for the future in some way. Okay, so there's just a couple of different ways it can go down. But let's keep going here because I don't want to like make it feel all doom and gloom, okay? Because we still have another tarot card here for you and then your two oracle cards at the end. All right. So Pisces, now when we come to your tarot confirmation card, is going to come in here and confirm all 4 weeks that we just talked about, all four main cards at the top. All right. And I like to read this one as past and future energy. All right. So it has a possibility of being both, right? Or one or the other, depends. Okay. So we have that world card, or in this deck, it's called the universe in the reverse position. Okay. So again, this zodiac signs associated with it are Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyway, put that aside if it doesn't necessarily matter to you. But with this universal world card in the reverse position, um, and we look back at your last 3 weeks that were all kind of a little bit of gentle reminders, energetic blockages or challenges. I would say here, Pisces, that this is a kind of not a warning because that sounds like way weird or dramatic, but it's almost like a signal, I would say, or a message to figure out how you can make something fresh and new, right? So normally when the world card is right side up, we would see the world. In this deck, we kind of see, I think this is some reference to maybe, well, this is the Hermaic deck, so it looked like Odin to me, but I don't think it's Odin. But it's some kind of world type imagery among different Hermaic traditions. Okay, so it could even have some Jewish symbology symbols in here. But we do have this kind of bird at the top, right? And then it looks like the sun in the background. We've got water. We've got lots of different things going on, within this card if it was right side up. But to me, it really talks about that fresh start energy. So it's in that reverse position. So how can I, or the other person, general environment situation, make the world anew, where it's like, okay, we have this new beginning, we have a fresh start, we have a blank slate. What do I want to draw on my blank piece of paper, right? You can tell it's blank, but it is. So if it's the world is in that reverse position, there's already a bunch of shit written on it and it's taking up space, right? So then it's not that fresh start, okay, that it could be. So here I really feel like it's just asking you to consider, how do I get that energy to reverse itself and get back that fresh start energy, okay? So let's see what these little oracle cards have for you as well, Pisces, and then we'll go ahead and move on to Aries in just a few moments. So yeah, we're almost at 30 minutes or so. So this time, Pisces, you did get 2 oracle cards. I've only been taking one, but Spirit really wanted 2 to come out. Okay, so this is a new oracle deck that my friend got me recently. It's the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck. So I will be reading real quickly from the book and just trying to summarize it the best way I understand it along with the rest of your reading. So the first oracle card you got here, Pisces, is lead. Okay, so this deck, because it's about alchemy, has different elements, different seasons, different plants, flowers, all sorts of things. Okay, so the one that came out for you is lead. So let's see what this one says. And I think that's the Latin. It's like plumbum. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if you guys can see lead on one side and then plumbum, but I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. Okay. Anyway, that makes me laugh. So let's see what it says here. So when this card is pulled, it talks about density, weight, and the planet Saturn. Okay, so when we think of lead, we think of something that's heavy, perhaps, right? When we think of Saturn energy, ruler of Capricorn, you did have Capricorn energy down here with the devil, right? It can talk about restrictions, responsibilities, limitations when we're talking about Saturn. But let's see what else this little book has to say. It says the presence of lead is sobering, right? So it is bringing this energy of waking up to something or not being in a honeymoon phase or being in the energy of not looking at something directly for what it is, perhaps, right? It says sobering energy. So it says lead is the first metal. Its properties are heavy, dense, and unwavering and steady. It is often perceived as the metal that initiated the entire alchemy drive to turn what is base, lead, into what is noble, gold. Okay. It correlates to the planet Saturn in its love of rules and structure. On one hand, this card implies a fixed position or burden that may be weighing down the work. On the other hand, lead can arrive just in time to ground a situation to bring an alchemist back to humbling beginnings. Either way, the presence of lead is sobering. We cannot ignore it. The impatient alchemist must be discouraged to see it in the laboratory, as it reminds us of how far we have to go. Approach this card with reverence and respect for the ongoing process. Okay, what else does it say here? Lead was also known as the sleeping giant of alchemy and is said to contain its own secret and solution. Ponder how you can awaken this intelligence in your own life. And then this book also, or this deck, this alchemy oracle deck always talks about like a movie or a book or some artwork to consider along with this card. So it says, go deeper and look at the Joseph Bly's 1993 art installation, most commonly referred to as the Pain Space or the Lead Room. All right. And then it says it in German, but I'm not going to even go there. Okay. And then it also says with this card to ponder the stability of an anchor. Okay. So that's the grounding thing it was talking about. So yeah. Interesting. I would say that this lead card really feels like to me that it could go with that second week. I mean, it could go with the second, third, and the fourth, right? All the energetic blockages or challenges, but it really feels like I want to place it on the second week because that is your sacred circles or your pentacles energy. That's your earth sign energy. When I think of grounding or finding your anchor, that would be something to maybe start during that week and then carry it through, of course, the rest. All right. But let's see what your other oracle card is real quickly here too. before we switch over to Aries. So your second one that came in, and maybe sometimes I feel like this happens, whether it's an extra tarot card or oracle card, when the universe is like, okay, I just delivered a tough message. Let me show something else maybe that's a little lighter. That's kind of how I see it. And when you look at the black and white to the color, it really feels like that. Okay. So your second oracle message is breath. Okay. The breath card. And then it says, it makes me think of the word pneumonia, but it's not spelled that way. Okay. But there's the Latin on the other side if that's something that you're interested in. Okay. I don't know how to exactly say that. So let's see what this card talks about, though. It says inspiration, presence, and life force, right? Breath. It says there is no more direct way to practice alchemy than to study pneumonia. I want to say pneumonia, but maybe it's not because there's not an I and all the other stuff. Okay, whatever, to study this card. We all have access to the mystical phenomenon known as the breath. It occurs at every moment, gracing us with the gift of existence upon this physical plane. If alchemy, as suggested in this book, is the merging of physical and mystical, then this card serves as an ever relevant bridge. It is the magical within us, the expanding and generating life force that animates our life. This card may appear simple, but it's not. No matter how advanced you are in studying breath, if you heed the message of this card, you will find it has more to teach you. Bow to it at this very moment, and you will discover the work revitalizes itself. New space opens. Okay, breath is your lifelong alchemy ally, stating its love with every inhale and an exhale. So this definitely would go with that world card in the reverse position that we talked about, right? How do I get that fresh start energy, that clean slate? It said something like that just a moment ago. Where was it? Revitalizes itself. New space opens. That's the part. New space opens. So that would be the world if it wasn't in the reverse position. Okay. So that's definitely something to think about here. You could put it with all of the second, third, and fourth week, but I'll just put it kind of over here with your confirmation card. What else does it say? It says to go deeper, take one deep, full breath. And it says to ponder or think about is the first breath of all breaths. Okay. And it says over here, it is no coincidence that every spiritual and mystical lineage bows to the breath via observation of it in meditation, breathing techniques, and pranayama, or chanting or in song. That's beautiful and that's true. Yeah, lots of different religions and cultures talk about the breath. It says when this card appears, it is a call to make room to expand and soften the approach to the work. Okay, so beautiful. I hope you got something from this, Pisces. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, I already took your picture before I turned on the camera. So if you want to see a picture of all the cards in one photo, all you have to do is click in the description box below after the live and follow it to my website, and then it takes you to my Facebook, and so it should be up there a little while from now if that's something you want to check out. So let's go ahead now and switch over to Aries. So we're going to let these cards charge, and then we'll do some shuffling. They're going to charge with the crystals here. We're going to do, of course, another sound bell to kind of let go of the Pisces energy and to move on to Aries. All right. Let's see here. These cards are so pretty, but they're so big. Like, a little difficult to shuffle. Actually, let me throw these in here first before we do the sound bell. Just because, I don't know, I like to do it that way. All right, one more, throw them in there randomly. Wherever you want to go. All right. So now we'll let these guys chill for a minute, and we'll do our little sound. Okay. So what time are we at? 40 minutes almost. Okay. All right. So again, we'll be posting timestamps later for people who just want one or the other sign, or they don't necessarily want to see the shuffling. So we will do that after. Oh, excuse me. 1 second. Oh yeah, guys. I don't know if I told you, but it's been 2 months without any caffeine. It's been really hard. I miss it. I had to give it up for some health reasons. But yes, I am doing okay. It has been difficult. All right. I miss my coffee, really. I really do. But we're all right. It's all divine timing. Okay. So let's go ahead and let go of anything and the Pisces energy and tune ourselves into the Aries energy. So we're going to just take a deep breath whenever, right? You don't have to necessarily. You can just listen to and just be aware it will be a little loud in case you're listening with headphones or something, but won't be for too long. All right, here we go for Aries. All right, I think that was a good one too. So let's go ahead and shuffle your cards here. All right, spirits guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries. These guys are big too. All right, I'm not used to these big cards. Okay. Messages for Aries for January 2023. Spirits guide my hands. Messages. All right. There we go. Messages for fire sign Aries. The Ram for January 2023. What does Aries need to see and to know at their highest vibration? I have fanning powder all over this, and I feel like it's getting on my shirt, but that's okay. Messages for Aries for January. When I was shuffling earlier and yesterday when I first put the powder in, all this white smoke was coming out. It probably looked really cool on camera, maybe like, oh, magic. But no, just fanning powder to help the cards not stick as much when you first get them. Aries. All right, so leave that there for a second. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries for January 2023. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries around 2023 January. This one. Spirits guide my hands. Okay, why did you want to show me that? Princess of Pentacles. All right, we'll put her back, but she wanted to show up. If she shows up later, then it's meant to be. But she wanted to show up for a second. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries for January 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Out there for a second. And these guys. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, January 2023. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Aries. Okay, so let's go back to this one and see what we have. Get some cards here. All right. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries. 4 cards only, please, Spirits. 4 cards only for January 2023 for fire sign Aries, the Ram. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram for 2023 January. All right, I'm not sure they want all of those, but let's double check before we pull the top and the bottom. All right, Spirits, you want the Strength card in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card here for this Aries reading. Spirits, please give me a definitive yes or no answer. Do you want the Strength card in the reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Aries reading? Okay, I said yes, so that's fine. And Spirits, do you want the 9 of Sacred Circles in the right side up position to represent the second tarot card for this Aries reading? Okay. Spirits, do you want the 8 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to represent the third tarot card for this Aries reading? Get over there. All right. And Spirits, did you want the 10 of Swords in the right side up position to represent the fourth tarot card for this Aries reading? Okay. So they do. So now we'll go ahead and take the top and the bottom. These over here. And the next deck, we'll figure out where they want those in a minute. We already shuffled mainly. Okay. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Aries, the Ram for January. All right. Spirits, did you want the 5 of Wands in reverse position to represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Aries reading? Okay, I said no. Spirits, just to confirm, you want the 5 of Wands in the right side up position to represent the one and only tarot confirmation card for this Aries reading. Okay, they said yes. Kind of want to figure out where they want this top and bottom real quickly. Oh yeah, speaking of top and bottom, didn't take it from this one. Good girl, Melissa. All right. Oh, there she is. Remember when we were first shuffling this one, the Princess of Wands came out? She came out again. All right. Let's see. Spirits, do you want this Princess of Wands in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Aries reading? You want her in the reverse position, the Princess of Wands, to represent what's on top of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Aries reading. And Spirits, did you want the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse position to represent what's on the bottom of this Hermetic Tarot deck for this Aries reading? Okay. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Princess of Wands in the reverse position and the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse position when I talk about the 10 of Swords in the right side up position? Okay, they said no. All right, let's see. Maybe they want this one. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Princess of Wands in the reverse position and the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse position when I talk about the 8 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position? Okay, so they want them there with the third week, so we'll leave that there. And then I'll confirm this one real quickly. Spirits, do you want me to talk about the Three of Sacred Circles in the right side up position and the Temperance card and in the right side up position when I talk about the Strength card in the reverse position? They said yes. All right. And then we'll get the Oracle card and get started. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Fire Sign Aries, the Ram, for January 2023. One card only, please. Okay. That was fast. Spirits, love and light, respect and reverence before, during, and after. Thank you for all wisdom, guidance, and advice received. Spirits, do you want this Virgin's Milk Oracle card for this Aries reading? All right, they said yes, so we'll leave that. Let's take our photo and get started. How are we going to fit all of these? Cards are so big now, I'm not used to it. Okay. I think that'll work. All right. Let's see. Take a quick picture. Good. All right, good. Okay. Aries. So now we're at 50 minutes. All right, so we'll mark that in my mind to add to the timestamps for when we're officially starting the Aries reading. All right, so dear Aries, if you're just joining us, right, this is a general reading. It can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. And it is a timeless reading, so it can occur for some people before or after January 2023. And yeah, we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so we have this 4-week time period that we're talking about. So each one of these cards on the top is going to correspond to a week's time frame. Okay, so we're saying, and I'll review these when we're on each one again. The first week can be from around January 1st through the 7th. The second week can be from around January 8th through the 14th. The third week can be from around January 15th through the 21st. The fourth week can be from around January 22nd through the 28th. All right. Now let's see what we have here for you, Aries. We have the Strength card in the reverse position. We have the Nine of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Nine of Pentacles right side up. We have 8 of Sacred Circles or 8 of Pentacles in the reverse position. And then we have 10 of Swords in the right side up position. We will talk about the other cards, the top and the bottom, when we're on those particular cards where Spirit wanted me to discuss it. That's when we will. All right, but let's go ahead and see, as far as the major arcanas, what cards we have here for you. Looks like we have 2. All right, so we have Strength card, Leo energy, and we have the Temperance, Sagittarius energy. So for some people, you could be dealing with a Leo or a Sagittarius. You could have a lot of it in your chart, or the other person could. Or it could even be referencing Leo season, Sagittarius season, or something in your chart. Leo in your chart, Sagittarius in your chart that you need to look at. Okay, so that is a couple different things. It may resonate with you, it may not, but I like to mention it. All right, now let's look at your underlying one of your themes to your reading as far as what's the most popular minor arcana here. So we have, it's definitely Pentacles. All right, you have 5 Pentacles cards. That's a lot. I haven't seen that in a while. So it's not necessarily good or bad, right? And we'll get into it later. But Pentacles do talk about money and wealth, okay, abundance. They also talk about our value systems. Am I being valued enough? Is the other person? Is the environment? Vice versa. All right, so that's something to think about as an underlying theme to your reading. So just keep it in the back of your mind. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here, Aries. So we start off with that first week, the Leo energy, the Strength card in that reverse position. And we said this could be from around January 1st through the 7th. It's not exact, okay? But with this Strength card in the reverse position, it could be that some of you guys are needing more courage about something. Here, it could be that you're not feeling particularly strong or abundant. in a certain way. And abundant isn't just money, right? It's whatever you want to manifest in your life. It could be you're having a hard time manifesting something during this week's time frame or so, right? Because normally, if the strength card was right side up, she's got the infinity symbol over her head, which we always see over the magician too. And as we know, magician is the ultimate manifester. If you know or didn't know, now you know. But yeah, with this in this reverse position here is that gentle reminder, energetic blockage or challenge. Okay. Um, so it's talking about there needs to be more strength, okay, when we're talking about tarot, not only physical strength when she's wrestling the lion with big muscles, but inner strength, right? So maybe there needs to be more inner strength during this time in some way here. Maybe there needs to be more Leo energy, right? So if we're talking about Aries and Leo, since this is the Aries reading, they're both fire signs, right? So the difference, maybe subtle differences or even stereotypes of the difference between Aries and Leo is that Leo would be more about having confidence in a certain way of taking the stage, right? Leos tend to want the spotlight in some form or shape, right? So when it's in that reverse position, it could be again affecting someone's confidence. They don't want to be in the spotlight in a certain way, or they're having a hard time stepping into that. It's not saying that Aries, you aren't naturally confident or that you don't want to be on the stage either, right? It's just a different aspect of fire sign energy that could be needed to be utilized more here in some way. I mean, you'll know when you ask yourself your own intuition what that means for you. But let's look what's underneath it too, because we do have these two cards, the sponsor cards, I like to call them past energy that made it possible for this strength card to show up in that reverse position. So getting even more insight. Okay. So what we have here is the Three of Sacred Circles was on the top of your deck, and the Temperance card in the right side up position was on the bottom of your deck. Okay. So it looks like here, Aries, that in the past, in some way, somebody was really working on their abundance, their monies, their pentacles, their sacred circles over here. And they thought perhaps that they needed to isolate themselves to focus more on how to get those things. Okay, so we see just the one Native American hut, and then we don't even see where the other ones are in the distance, right? So it's again kind of separating to try to focus more. We also see the eagle spirit in the sky here and the bear spirit. So in the past, in some way, someone here was trying to figure out how can I see things from a larger perspective and also reserve my energy, my money, my wealth, my love, etc., my health for the long winter. So that's what the bear represents, right? So these are good things to always kind of check in with ourselves and think about, right? Not necessarily isolating ourselves, but the other things are good to think about. Now, when we pair it with this temperance card, Sagittarius energy, this is about having patience, right? So because I am a sun sign Sagittarius and this is the Aries reading, I'll say sometimes it's really hard for fire signs in particular to be patient. So it's always funny to me that this is supposed to be my official card. But it's not only just about patience, it's about balance, right? So we see this woman, she's got 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. She's taking this 2 bowls of water and kind of transmuting the energy, playing with it back and forth. So it's about balance as well. So it's kind of interesting though here, Aries, because it's like, why, if somebody or something in the past was doing all this really good work and looking for balance and trying to be patient, why is the strength card in the reverse position? It could be that somebody gave up the patience and was like, I'm not going to wait anymore. And they tried to rush in, maybe for some, and that didn't work. It could be for others that they thought it was just about physical strength and that didn't work. It could be for some that it was about Maybe they can control, or you in the past can control money, can control their own or your own patience, right? But then when it comes to manifesting things in the outer world, or if we compare the Leo energy or the lion of the woman here in the strength card, if she was right side up to this outside energy, 3D energy, right? When we talk about temperance, it's like more 5D spiritual energy, perhaps inside, right? So maybe there's a blockage here of how to translate it into the 3D world, 3D real world energy. Okay. So it'll be different for everybody, but just some things to kind of think about. So let's keep going though, because we got lots of interesting things to talk about. All right. So then moving forward here, energy. Moving forward here, Aries, with your energy, we get to your second week, which we said could be from around January 8th through the 14th. We have the Nine of Sacred Circles, Nine of Pentacles. So whatever this little energetic blockage was in the first week, by the time you get to the second week, it's gone. Okay. If I look at the rest of your reading, the second week here for you, Aries looks like the best week. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be January 8th through the 14th, but whatever this second cycle of energy would show up for you, it's looking really good. This is one of my favorite cards in the tarot, right? So here we have Earth sign energy. It's not the particular card, but of course we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy with the sacred circles, also known as pentacles. Here we see this older Native American woman. She's burning some kind of sacred herb. She's got her eagle next to her. And so she is about manifesting things, right? She's got lots of money, lots of time, lots of experience, okay? Like in the game, whatever the game of life we're talking about, okay? So here, with this Nine of Sacred Circles, she has her skill, determination, and focus. It's on point, right? That's what the falcon or the eagle, I think it's supposed to be a falcon, but yeah, whatever this bird is, okay, that's what he represents. So if you think of the falcon, sometimes they have their little blinders on and then they take them off and then they're supposed to go towards their goal, whatever their master tells them their goal is, right? So that is kind of the energy here in that second week. Again, very abundant if we're talking about money, wealth, that kind of thing. Abundance, what is also whatever you want to manifest in your life. Really grounding earth sign energy here. Also, when we have the Nine of Sacred Circles, the Nine of Pentacles, it's also a very supportive energy. You don't see it in this deck, in this card, but sometimes there's a little scribe, little dude on the side who's like, going to the store for her, right? So it's like that supportive energy is here as well in that second week. All right. So that second week is looking really good here. Okay, Aries. But let's keep going and kind of see what comes next, right? So now we're getting to your third week, which we said could be from around January 15th through the 21st or so. But we have the Eight of Sacred Circles in the reverse position. So it's really interesting, right? Because it's like we go from the Nine of Sacred Circles right side up to the Eight of Sacred Circles reversed. So it should be like this, right? 8, 9, 10, but it's not. Okay, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just more interesting. Now, when we have this Eight of Sacred Circles in the reverse position in the third week, it could be that somebody is not feeling confident in their skills, in their making something happen. It could be that somebody here also is just not as productive as they normally would be, whether again this is you, Aries, or another person or multiple people, general environment situation. Because normally if she's right side up, she's making all these drums. Like the drum orders keep coming and they're like, girl, we need more drums. She's like, okay, I'm making these drums. And remember, it's reversed. So it's like all the drumming making has stopped. All the productivity has stopped. I feel that it is a little bit of second guessing because you do go from the Nine of Sacred Circles to then the Eight of Sacred Circles reversed. So it's like, why am I going one step backwards when I already had all these other things here. So this always, like they say, everything does happen for a reason. So let's look what's underneath it to get even more insight. All right, so this is again past energy that made it possible for that Eight of Sacred Circles to come out in the reverse position. So what we have here is that Princess of Wands in the reverse position that peeked out of the deck earlier, which was on the top of your deck. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a repeating card, okay? This is on the bottom of your deck. It's the same card in a different deck, different name. One is right side up and one is reversed. One is future current energies and one is past energies. So really interesting. When that happens, it's a particular message from Spirit to pay even closer attention to, right? So in this Hermetic deck, they call the Nine of Pentacles here the Lord of material gain or wealth, if it was right side up, right? But it was reversed. So let's break that down and see kind of why this is happening. All right, so again, this is past energy that made it possible for the Eight of Sacred Circles in the reverse position to show up. Okay, so it looks like here, Aries, that in the past with the Princess of Wands in the reverse position, there could have been this energy where somebody, it goes back to what we said earlier a little bit about not using the higher vibrational frequencies of fire. Not just Aries, not just Leo, not just Sagittarius, all fire, right? Not just talking about zodiacs. Because that Princess of Wands being in the reverse position, and in this deck, they call her the Princess of the Shining Flame, okay? It's almost like somebody or something in the past, because this is past energy, didn't want to work on their health in some way, or they were having something going on with their health, their physical body. When we talk about wands, that's always there. It could also be that not only not trusting in the higher vibrational frequencies of fire energy, maybe they didn't want to learn something new. Okay, anytime you have a prince or a princess or a knight or a princess, okay, and they're right side up, they would be learning something new. They're not set in their ways necessarily like a king or a queen, but she's reversed. So it could be in the past somebody didn't want to learn something new. So this made, of course, their money, their abundance, their wealth not flow correctly, because we should always be learning something new, regardless of our money, our age, or our status. Okay. So it kind of almost feels like, well, let me keep holding this up, that this Aries is like maybe someone's triggered here in the third week where they are worried that it'll go back to the way it was before. Or maybe they're worried that they can't keep up with this productive energy that we feel more in the second week. Yeah, it feels just like a little bit of second guessing. Again, going from 9 to 8, and the 8's in the reverse position, it just feels like somebody's a little second guessing themselves or others, vice versa, etc. Yeah, let's keep going though and see what else comes out. All right. So now, Aries, when we get to your fourth card, fourth week, we said this could be from around January 22nd through the 28th. We have the Ten of Swords in the right side up position. Hear me out if you're familiar with tarot. Don't freak out though, right? Because the good thing about the Ten of Swords is it's a 10. It's the highest number in tarot. So it means that it's going to be done with soon. The anxiety, the worry, the overthinking that shows up in this card's energy is going to be done with soon, okay? It's done. It's at the height. So whatever this second guessing was, this lack of productivity, all the things we just talked about, when the Ten of Swords shows up, it's reached its highest point. So now it has to like be over with, okay? So this represents anxiety, worry, overthinking, or just being too much up in the head, mentally exhausted. The swords are going down into somebody's body here, okay? So this is going to be over soon though, right? Like let's put that to rest. Like let's give this person a rest, or give you a rest, or somebody a rest, okay? Because yeah, it's a 10, so it's over. If it was like Two of Swords or even Six of Swords, it would still be going, right? But it's a Ten of Swords, so it's going to be over soon. So let's see what your very last tarot card here says too, along with that. So this is your tarot confirmation card. It's going to come in here and confirm all 4 weeks, all 4 cards on the top we just talked about. And this is the combination of past and future energy. We have the Five of Wands in the right side up position. And this is one of my other favorite cards in the tarot. I know it's hard to pick one, just one favorite. Okay, so the way that this deck is depicting it is we see kind of all these different alchemy symbols of the lion, the eagle, the snake, I don't know if that's a crocodile or alligator, whatever it is. And in this deck, it's called the Lord of Strife, okay? But it doesn't have to be. That's the good thing about the Five of Wands, is normally it looks like 5 guys fighting. Okay, it doesn't look like that in this deck. But it means they're not actually fighting, they're practicing, okay? When the Five of Wands shows up, it's like, how can I rely on my support system, my friends, family, romantic lover, mental health care worker, etc., whatever your support system is, how can I rely on them to not take life so seriously, right? And especially after the Ten of Swords, how can I have backup plans for where my life is at right now? How can I use a pencil instead of a pen so I can erase things? How can I have, okay, it could go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And then your friends are like, oh, well, what about this way? What about this way? So they come in because they're not you, right? So they're not going to take it. They take it seriously because they're your friends and they care about you or your family, etc. But they're not going to take it or look at it the same way as you. So that's when they come in here and they want to come in here and help you with these things. So I love the Five of Wands when I see it here for you, Aries. Okay. So when I said it's a combination of past and future energy, I would make it a future energy, right? So take it to let go of that Ten of Swords energy. And also, when we talk about the wands, we're talking about physical body, right? So it could be that if you are able to do these things I just mentioned, that you can have better health in your physical body as well. So that's always a good way to look at it too. All right. So real quickly before you go, Aries, this is your oracle card. It's super pretty. And I don't know how to say the Latin, so I'm going to just stop. But this card is the Virgin's Milk. Okay, so it's got this blue flower at the bottom. It's really pretty. So I will read from the book real quickly because this is a new oracle deck that I got and I haven't memorized them. It's called The Wild Unknown Alchemy. All right, so let's see real quickly. I won't read the whole thing, but we'll just kind of try to summarize here as soon as I find it. I know I saw it earlier. Where are you, Virgin's Milk? No, that's the whole page. Okay. It's so tiny, you guys. Maybe it's me. Hold on. Okay, it's not the elements. It has to be mysteries. No. Okay, I finally found it. Jesus. Sorry, guys. 167. Okay. But look how small this shit is, guys. Look, it's really tiny. Okay. So 167. Let's see here. All right. So the Virgin's Milk talks about innocence, purity, right? And being naive. Okay. Right. We think of a virgin or we think of mother's milk. All right. So it says, how can milk come from one not carrying a child? Okay. That is precisely the nuanced teachings of Virgin's Milk. When studied as an alchemy concept, it points to a lack of awareness or experience that the alchemist would rather not reveal. Yes, this milky substance is a symbol of purity and innocence, but it is shadow side. The shadow side of it is being naive or even in denial. When the virgin's milk appears, discernment and honesty must be applied to the work. Is something being glossed over, rushed, or presented as perfect? There are likely complexities that need to be addressed so that the alchemist can gain the maturity to handle what's next. So when they're talking about the virgin's milk, right, it's like if one woman gives birth to a baby and she dies, right, then another woman will come in and she can start producing milk for the baby, even if she's a virgin, right? It's just something in women's body and in science that takes over. So that's kind of what they're talking about as far as the symbol for the virgin's milk. Um, but it says to go deeper. This is really hilarious, you guys. It says this book always talks about either some movies or artwork you're supposed to look at. It says go deeper, watch the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Okay, that's a great movie. It's hilarious. But that's just up to you if you want to do that. All right, but it also talks about to ponder or think about patience as the remedy. Oh, yes. Remember we were talking about patience in the past with the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. Okay, maybe there needs to be more patience again or balance again in the future. Let's see what else it says here. Just one drop of the virgin's milk can be medicinal. It can help the alchemist act as if knowing your measure or knowing your worth. Okay, interesting. And what else does it say here? The virgin's milk archetype can be seen in child prodigies and those expected to grow up too quickly. Oh, interesting. It is remedied by admitting exactly where you are right now with humor and humility. These things will help. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense when I think about it too, right? Because if you are, again, the virgin's milk of her being a virgin and never having sex, how can she produce milk, right? So it's saying, um, it can talk about children that had to grow up too quickly or people and not just the metaphor of that, but lots of people had to do that. So then it's saying, how can you fix those feelings of, let's say, losing out on your childhood or your innocence in some way? It says, talk about directly where you are now with humor and humility, right? So humor, making fun, and humility is having what's the best way to talk about humility? It's like being humble about that it can happen to a lot of different people and it doesn't harden you or make you less of a person. I guess that's kind of how I would describe it in this situation. But yeah, take it as it resonates for you, as always. Okay. But I like it. I like this for you, dear Aries. And I hope you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below later how things go for you, or even now, whenever. And also, if you want to see a photo of all the cards together, I will be posting it shortly. So all you have to do is click in the description box below to follow the instructions on where to find it on my Facebook page in case you want to see all the cards together. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much as always for your energy, for your subscriptions, your likes, and your shares. It really does help support the channel here. So excuse me. If you haven't done that yet, I would really appreciate it. If you want to do one of those things, right, they're all free. So you can subscribe if you have a basic YouTube email account, and it'll just notify you when I put out new videos. You just hit the subscribe button. If you want to like the video and do the thumbs up, it tells me that you liked something in this video, but also it plays with YouTube's algorithms to share it more with others within the first 2 or 3 days. It really does help. So another great free way to support the channel here, since I am doing these readings for free. And the third way too is to share it with others, send it to friends or family. So whatever you feel guided to do, there is no pressure for real. All right, so you guys take care, and I will be coming back tomorrow with Taurus and Gemini. So we'll go through the regular way through the rest of the signs. All right, so you guys take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.